Welcome back to the podcast for founders by founders. This is the Uncommonality Podcast.
And today we have Chris Wright with Franzy. Welcome, Chris.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
Yeah, awesome to have you here. So, Chris, just for our viewers here,
Sure.
Can you give us a little bit of background about who you are, yourself, and what Franzy is?
Sure. So similar to Alex, I started my career in management consulting, liked the people, hated the environment, knew I wanted to be in startups. My first startup in Charlotte was a company called Whistle, was an on-demand home cleaning. So Alex was doing pickup, drop-off, delivery, Uber of laundry. We were doing Uber of cleaning. That's where we initially met. Fast forward a couple of years, Alex and I had been talking about the idea for Franzy back when they were forming Laundry Lab. I had just sold Whistle, and I tell people I was consulting, but I was really just hanging out in their office with my friends, and we were talking about setting up a franchise. And so we were talking about it then, and then fast forward a couple of years, we both were kind of exiting out of our current thing and had a chance to start working on Franzy. Franzy is a two-sided marketplace thing, Zillow for franchising, with the intention to match prospective franchisees, people who want to get into franchising, with the right franchise brand for them. The end goal is that it's a better fit, and it makes sure that people are getting matched with the brand for them, not the brand that pays us the most. We get paid a flat fee. There's no incentive for our team to sell one brand or the other. And we think that information should be available to everyone.
I love that. How does this idea even come about? Because I know you mentioned that you were thinking about this for a while,
Yeah.
right? And for us, who obviously we had Alex on the podcast, and we've been keeping up with you guys like crazy on LinkedIn and everything, the growth has been explosive.
Yeah.
Right, to say the least. Like, that's underplaying it too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So how does this come about, Franzy? The idea.
Yeah, so it starts with Alex and his team trying to form Laundry Lab in the first place, right? So they're an emerging brand. They're trying to get it off the ground. They start franchising. They're really good at tech, really good at software. They're startup guys. They know how to figure this out. But what is not there is figuring out how to get scale and reach on selling laundromats, right? They started working with brokers and other people in the space who are traditionally helping with that transition and getting reach. But a lot of their deals, at the end of the day, they would have $0 coming to them for the upfront licensing fee, which is the only upfront capital they get. And they were thinking there had to be a better way. And now we've both tried to become franchisees in the past, and we are franchisees. In that process, I've worked with brokers, and don't get me wrong, some great brokers out there. But most of our experience has been feeling like we're either guided to a specific path, not necessarily the best fit for us, or that maybe there's not the full universe of brands that are out there. There's over 3,000 brands, and I'm only showed 10, right? Chances are I'm not finding the best fit for me.
Yeah.
So we took that and then ran with it. So we took 18,000 franchise disclosure documents, got all of those downloaded, scraped all of them, and then built this platform so we can make that information publicly available and easy to understand. Sprinkle in some AI to help people get recommendations, and here we are.
So, in your words, what does using Franzy feel like?
Using Franzy feels like you have a franchise coach in your pocket that can help direct you towards the right brand for you. And then when you have questions, when you get stuck, you can ask Franzy itself, or you can ask our team members who help guide you and coach you through the process, right? The goal is to make sure that you're finding the right brand in whatever form you want. If you want to just use the platform and get connected directly to the brand, you can. If you want to talk to somebody because it is a big emotional purchase, you're basically signing on for 10 years with this brand. It's like a marriage, right? You want to be sure. And often you want somebody who can help guide you through that process. We're here for that.
But it can be as easy as, if I want to get into franchising and I don't know where to start,
Yeah.
I could even just start there and see what even aligns with what it is I want to do.
That's right.
Sounds amazing.
And I think, because I've played around with it a little bit, or I've seen the demos, you can filter what works for you. Like, hey, I have $10,000 to put down.
Yep.
Obviously, that's a low number, but
Yep.
I have X amount of dollars. I want to be in this space. I want the business to have been established for so many years, whatever the case may be, right? So you make it very customizable to the user, right? Which I've always gotten the sense that user experience takes cake more than anything else. And I think you guys have that drilled down.
Yeah.
So looking at the event we're at, being Seed the South, we've heard you on Good Morning America. We've heard you on all these different places, right? On big news outlets that everyone looks at, right? Well, what does that feel like compared to being at these small pitch events, right? Or even, talk us through that experience and then being here as well.
Yeah, so it's different in a lot of ways being on one of these big networks, right? You're going through similar things with mic checks and talking to the AV team, but you're on the New York Stock Exchange floor and you're looking out and talking to the TV, which you know is going to be seen by hundreds of thousands, millions of people. So from a outside perspective, it's easier, but when you think about the other side of that screen, it's a little bit more intimidating maybe at the onset. But at this event, we've been coming to this event since Sam Smith founded it years back. Big friends of Sam Smith and just love getting involved in the local community because we do believe that the Southeast has a ton to offer and is just not getting touched or exposed. And the more that we can do and the more that founders can reinvest in the community and be a part of this, the better, right? It's the only way that Charlotte and the Southeast becomes a player on the space. And I think we've come a long way because my first startup was in 2019. It's very different now than it was in 2019.
Yeah, I would say even just creating different opportunities, different businesses and ventures is almost a form of giving back.
Yeah.
Because something that we do have, which is very large, is talent.
Yeah.
It might not be innovative talent, it might not be leading talent, but we have talent which can be used in all these types of situations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Between like Raleigh and Charlotte, you have research and development, you have tech, and you have finance over here, and it's just a massive melting pot for a great economy.
And we need to pull some of that talent away from the big players. You guys know who you are.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And the way you guys are growing, there's no doubt you guys are gonna be pulling a lot. You guys are gonna be attracting a lot of talent.
Yeah,
real soon.
Definitely, you guys are doing some amazing stuff. So
yeah.
What was it like today? Also, like preparing for the pitch. Obviously, we had a little bit of an emergency mix-up where you were kind of told, all right, you're pitching. So there wasn't a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
So like what was going through your head? How did you get through it? Like, what does that feel like? If you can give advice to somebody who hasn't pitched before or wants to get into it, what would be the best thing for them?
Yeah, I'd say that, so for the audience's benefit, my co-founder was meant to have a kid on Friday. Kid came early. I learned yesterday that I'm going to be pitching. Thankfully, I built the deck and I live this every day, right? So I think that as a founder, you know your product, whatever you're building, better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about conveying that emotion, what you believe in and what makes that product that you built so special to an audience. Forget the audience. Don't worry about who's out there. Find a person, stare at them. The prep for me was this morning I got up at 5 a.m., said goodbye to my son, and then sat in the office and just took notes and literally walked around my office talking to myself. Looked like a crazy person, but it didn't take a lot of prep. I'd say that I benefit from the fact that I've done this before. So I've done pitches, I've done audience speaking. It's not as intimidating to me as it maybe would be. But any advice I'd give is just be yourself, be genuine, and show the love that you have for what you're building. Other people will feel it.
That's great advice.
I think that's so great because you put a little actual practical something you can implement as you're pitching of like just pick someone and look at them. There's a
guy, I don't know who he is. I need to find him. He was in the front row this entire time and I just stared at him. I'm like, I look around a little bit. I've never met him. I just locked in on him and he made eye contact because I think he knew what was going on.
He's probably going to find you after this and be like, hey, are you okay?
It got a little personal. Like, hey, you want to take me out to dinner? What's going on?
Hey, you want to get a drink after this?
Yeah. Let me have your number. We'll go get a drink after this. But,
oh, God.
Just as we close this out here.
Sure.
On brand with the Uncommonality podcast, we asked the same founder. We asked Alex when he was on our podcast. We've asked everyone else as well. What is one uncommon practice, belief, or system that you've developed over your life or through Franzy or through your other venture that someone watching can get value from?
That's a good question. Uncommon. So I don't know if this is necessarily uncommon and I wouldn't recommend this for everyone, but I really love working on the weekends when I can. So like Sunday afternoon, you can see it on my calendar. Alex and I are in there every Sunday from roughly 9 until 2. We still got family time and friends time, but especially in this early stage, putting our heart and soul into it is what we need to make it successful. And that Sunday time when it's just co-founder to co-founder talking, it's incredibly valuable time because the rest of the week we've got meetings. We're literally booked up from 7, 8 a.m. I handle all the product and engineering time. So I've got people on different time zones all the way up until 6, 7 p.m. And so maybe we get some time in the evenings, but for the most part, that's our time to go and plan how we're going to build out the next quarter, the next year, the next 10 years of this business.
That's amazing. And maybe one thing it's a little off script, but why Alex and why do you think Alex picked you as a co-founder?
It's a good question. We've talked a lot about this actually. So Alex and I have been friends for a long time. We've always wanted to potentially do something together. For me, Alex was the original one who kind of came up with the idea. We talked about it that summer. He brought it up to me again. And I've always wanted a chance to work with Alex. I like him as a person. I like him as a friend. And he's also brilliant when it comes to business and making connections. He's one of the best connectors I've ever met in my entire life. He's just a great guy. We know his family really well. So it was an easy fit for me. I think on the flip side, I've got a unique skill set that Alex doesn't have. I'm really great at building enterprise grade software and product and moving fast and executing on whatever it has to be done. He's often the big picture vision guy. I play in that space with him, but I go and execute whatever we're planning out. So I think that it just works really well. It's a great example of two co-founders having complementary skill sets, which you don't always find, but it was perfect for this one.
I mean, it tends to be integral for the success of the business. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. We're very grateful for both Alex and you to give us a little bit of time on this. And when you guys are a Fortune 500 company, we'll look back at this and we'll send you the
Don't forget about the little people like us.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
We
it's been a
appreciate
great
you,
time,
Chris.
seriously.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. Thank you.
Thanks.